Hello, and thank you for tuning in today to another episode of Women Owned Listed, the podcast. Today, we are going to be learning from another one of our seasoned professionals to help us really elevate and take our workforce to the next level. And we have an amazing lady in today. She's all about leadership, development, and training. Her name is Chevy Mack. How are you doing today, Chevy?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So please tell us the name of your business.
So my business is Mac Leadership Academy LLC.
Excellent. And tell me about the services that you offer with your business.
Oh, yes. So what my company does is really provide established mission-driven businesses with time, getting their time back. So I do that through training development of their team, optimizing their operations, and program management. So, for example, just taking things off of their load as a CEO by coming in and supporting them as a fractional COO or developing their team member or a team member to step into that role as operation manager.
I love that. Our operation managers are so important. I think that's another one that is underestimated because the operations managers really are going to help your business run like a well-oiled machine. They're going to make sure, everything's stocked in your break room. Everything, you're using your employees to the best that you can. All your supplies are ordered on time. All of these things, so it is a very important role. Can you tell us a little bit about what made you want to go into this particular business?
Yes, so just very quickly, my background. So I've served 22 plus years in the United States Air Force. So my background is well versed in the sense of leadership, leading teams, running operations, readiness, getting people ready for deployment to go into combat, making sure they have all the resource. And all the things, and also being in the military, we get to step into leadership roles even if we don't want to. So, for example, if there's an event that has to be put on for the entire base populace, then guess what? Part of my responsibility as a leader for my organization was to provide large events for thousands of people. So when it comes to running operations, leading team, being in a classroom, training, developing, all of that I bring from my military background. So I said, okay, I love developing people. I love optimizing processes. And even in the military, as I look back at my career, every organization that I was a part of, when I went into that organization, we optimized not only me, but my team as a whole, how we perform, how we made things more efficient, processes, all the things. So I wanted to bring that into what I do to support business owners who are looking for more optimization, how they lead, how they develop their team, and how they run their operations as a whole.
Wow, that is incredible. And thank you so much for your service. Thank you for all the things that you've done. We definitely appreciate all of those who are helping run our country and keep it safe. Thank you so much for that. And what a great way to use that amazing leadership. That's a next level leadership. You're not going to get that just anywhere, So what a smart thing to do to channel that also into this business that you have. So let's say, I am someone that is requesting your services. What does that look like?
Okay, so first, I'm that person. I don't just want to just work with anyone. So, and I'm not here just like take your money and just say, hey, I can help you. It has to be in alignment. So, number one, you have to be an established business owner, and that encompasses, you have a team, whether that's subcontractor, you have, part-time or full-time employees, and you're like, hey, I'm at a point where I'm at capacity. I don't have the time to do all the things, which is focused on, business growth. So you will definitely book a consultation call that is free by reaching out, and then I will have a conversation with you, hear what your challenges are, and then from there, then I will let you know this is how I can support you. And then you get to choose whether you want me to come in as a fractional CEO, or you want me to develop your team with training, or you want me to identify one person on your or you identify one person on your team to say, hey, I want Kim to be the person to be my operations manager, and I will come in and train that person to execute. And again, I'm bringing that military style to it, not just
Right.
this is not a VA. We're not looking for a VA to just come in and sit. This is for the traditional business owner who's like, hey, I need someone who is pretty much my right hand person and I'm here to help them get that person or come in and provide that support to them.
Wow, that's great. And I think that a lot of women-owned businesses, what happens is you sometimes get this very quick growth. I think of some of the for example, beauty brands, that they start on YouTube or something, and then before they know it, they've got thousands of orders and tons of clients, and it's almost like an overnight success. Although that's not a real thing, but you get the gist of what. I'm sorry to interrupt here, but we've got something important to say. At womenownedlisted.com, our mission is to empower and uplift women entrepreneurs by providing a dynamic platform to showcase and connect their businesses to a broader audience. We are committed to fostering a community of support. We aim to create a lasting network where women entrepreneurs can succeed and inspire the next generation of business leaders. Are you a woman entrepreneur looking to elevate your business? Join womenownedlisted.com today. List your business and join over 800 female business owners who are strengthening their presence by joining our platform. Share your story and expertise with our audience by being interviewed on our podcast. Let's amplify your voice and inspire others. Hit the like button, subscribe on podcasts, subscribe on YouTube, join our mailing list, and get your business listed now to take the next steps in pushing your business forward. I'm saying, and so someone like that who maybe does not have a business background and needs some assistance and needs operational support could really benefit from your services, because you're basically a strategic partner at that point. You're coming in, you're assessing what the needs are, and then you're going ahead and training someone or being in that role yourself, depending on how y'all work it out, to go ahead and fulfill that. So that is a very good service to offer. There are a ton of women-owned businesses. We have over 800 listed on our website, and I'm sure many of them could benefit from your service. So could you tell me one of your biggest successes?
Yeah, so I've worked with, diverse individuals. So with one of my clients, I actually helped her to shift her mindset, and she was able to optimize her entire operation because she was in a tax space, and she was like, hey, how do I optimize my operation? So just working with her, but also helping her to streamline and actually signing her biggest client ever as well too. And I'm also working with another client right now, and I'm pretty much doing Done For You, where I'm actually doing research where he doesn't have the time and capacity, and he's like, hey Chevy, like, I don't have the time to do this, because he's looking for grant support for his innovation, because I'm a consultant as well too. So he was like, hey, you know what, let's get started. So that was a big opportunity to, one, he gets his time back, and two, he can focus on growth and his team to build that innovation to support the bigger economy as a whole. So that would be two big wins, I would say.
Well, congratulations on that. That is, and again, I mean, people really underestimate the behind the scenes work. We get to support these people who have these amazing businesses. And when you can partner with someone like that and you bring your level of expertise, you know what I mean? It just is you're knocking it out of the park. Now, what advice would you give to, someone, maybe they probably, your business does seem to be quite unique, but maybe someone who's just in the consulting space in general, and they're listening to this podcast and they're saying, man, I've got all this experience and I really would like to get into consulting and helping other businesses build. What would be your advice to them?
So my advice to someone who, want to tap into the consulting space is really, because like my background being in the military, I have a lot of experience that I'm bringing to my, partners, whether that's a small business, a government entity, or a corporate organization. So, and I'm like, I can do all the things, but I had to really focus on what do I love to do. And for me, it's really helping people to build and execute on the things that they're trying to achieve or build. So that is where I thrive. I love guiding. I love advising. So identify out of all the things that you have, and like, hey, I'm great at, 5 things. What really lights you up internally? Because for me, it's like, how do I help people to make a bigger impact? And when you identify that, then find where are your people. So for me, I love to connect in person. I love to have conversations. So I go to networking events, and I don't just go to just any networking events. I did at one point, but then I got very strategic and was like, hey, let me be intentional. So being on LinkedIn as well too, and also out like doing outreach, cold outreach. And that doesn't mean like I'm spamming anyone. That means like, hey, I'm looking to see what does this person and I have in common? Is it a school? Is it a friend? Is it similarities in what we're doing? And then I do an outreach just to build that relationship. I'm not asking them for any sales. I'm not asking them for nothing besides, hey, I want to get to know you, to just learn more about your business. Again, not about me. I'm making it about them. And that's just building a relationship. And then I do ask them, hey, I would love to connect with you for a 30-minute call. And honestly, a lot of them say yes. And we're just talking about life, business, nothing about sales. So I would say if you're a consultant, start building those relationships and really optimize your expertise. And where you're comfortable, if you're not like, hey, Chevy, I am not, I don't care for networking event. Do you love writing? Do you love doing blogs? Do you love audio? Like, get on the platform that you feel like you're comfortable sharing openly and not, be shy. So just step forward, I would say, and not be afraid.
That is some excellent advice. Excellent advice. Now, can you give us a time in your business where, you don't have to get personal at all, where you thought, man, I really am not where I want to be, or I'm not in the direction where I thought I would be yet. What would you say to that person who's listening and has those thoughts right now?
Oh my goodness, I have been there. My business has definitely evolved over the years. I really started my business back in 2020, and it was a wellness business. And because I, was going through life anxiety, and I was really focused on wellness, but then I was like, oh, excuse me, my alarm was set for 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Sorry about that. And but then I was like, okay, I love wellness and I love leadership, and I was like, let me spend more time in the leadership space because I have years in the military, and I had to decide, okay, let me focus on what I know very well, which is leadership, development, team, all the things, and then bring that wellness piece. And even in the beginning, honestly, it was a struggle for me, like financially, where I kept investing. Like, investing part was easy for me. I'm like, if I felt like something was going to work, or I felt like this would be a great investment, I took the leap, but I did not get the same return. So, a lot of people who may be watching this, like, man, I've been investing, I've been attending, programs, I signed up for this coach, and it's not happening. And what shifted for me was really slowing down, because I am a fast action taker. I'm like, go getter, let's get this done. And then I had to just kind of be reflective and ask myself, okay, what is happening? Why is it that I'm not getting the clients? And what I realized was I was just showing up, but not truly showing up. And then I wasn't really vectoring the individuals that I wanted to work. I was just more like, oh, this person seemed like, they've gotten results, which I did some research, but not really took the time, because again, I was like, I'm doing this over and over. And I had like small little wins, but honestly, the amount of wins that I received compared to what I invested was not the same.
Right.
Yes, it was not the same. So definitely for someone who's at this space, where you're like, hey, I've spent a lot of money, I've done a lot of investment, like, just kind of pause for a minute and be very reflective and ask yourself, okay, what is the cycle am I going through? Am I just jumping into things without really doing my research, or am I just kind of going with the flow? Do I have a plan of like, and identify who am I really serving? Because that was an issue for me. It's like, oh, I can serve this person, I can serve that person. But when I was really like, okay, I want to serve business owners that have a team, and they're already at a stage where they're already making multi-millions, and they just don't have the time to develop their team. They don't have the time to do X, Y, and Z. I'm like, this is a space, because for me, I don't want to work with someone who's just starting out. And I thought I did, but I'm like, I want someone who's like, hey, I've already started 3-5 years. I already have, team members. And I'm like, okay, this is the space, because again, that military background where I'm used to leading people, 19 people, overseeing hundreds of people, leading 60, like, so that was just the norm for me. So just really getting clarity on who exactly I was serving and what I was providing to them definitely shifted in the sense of my business, financially, and how things are moving along. So clarity is key. Clarity is key.
I love that. Yeah, it is important to be clear because I feel like when you're starting any new business, the pitfall that a lot of us have fallen into is overspending on advertising, you know what I'm saying? Facebook ads that don't work. Before you know it, I was speaking with someone the other day that spent 15K on Facebook ads and got absolutely no return. And so it's like, I'll just be brave and go out there and say it. Don't waste your money on Facebook ads. Like, don't. You know what I mean? We really like to give, the straight up info here on Women Owned Listed, and the Facebook ads, just aren't where what is at anymore. I do feel like there was a time that those were successful for folks, but now, we're a lot of people are just sick of social media. And so if you're going to do it, you have to be very strategic about it, know your target audience, have a very clearly defined budget, or just try something else altogether. And then honing in on what it is you actually want to do. I love that about what you said, because I feel like most entrepreneurs are people who are good at more than one thing. Like, I feel like if I was like, hey, Chevy, let's start a baking business, you'd be like, yes, and I can do that. Hey, Chevy, let's start this other business. Yes, I can do it. Like, you know what I mean? That is just the spirit of an entrepreneur. And so sometimes I've even found that with myself, I literally have to hone in and be like, okay, only this, which is hard to do, just do this or just do that. It's not easy.
Yes, and I would just add, definitely, I did the Facebook ad. This was like in the beginning stages of my business, but it was like $100 and some change, because it was saying, hell, you pay like $5 a day, and I did it on my own. Thinking, I'm like, okay, I'm not getting any leads. Let me try this Facebook thing. I keep seeing ads like, hey, try Facebook ads, and I did that, and then it went up to like $150. I said, oh no, I can't afford this.
Yes,
Like less than a
yes.
month, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is adding up. So that was only like less than $200. So imagine spending 50,000. I can't. Not. I don't see myself doing that, because I like to do it organically. That was that one opportunity, and that did not work for me. So that was like, no, thank you.
Exactly, exactly. Reaching out, making the connections. Now, one thing that I always hear so many good things about, and I feel like this is a platform that a lot of us business owners sleep on, is LinkedIn. Like, people are driving hard on LinkedIn. I mean, they are doing their thing for real on LinkedIn. So I would say, definitely using LinkedIn can definitely be another good thing as well. So let's get a little bit more about your business, Chevy, before we wrap up the episode. Do you have anything new, fun, and exciting that the listeners can, take a class or do some consulting? Any special events or anything coming up in 2025 that we want to get the early know in about?
Yes, couple things. So I'm writing a book that's really focused on, building resilience in individuals as they're navigating life, career, and business. It was supposed to be done, it's written, but I'm still going through the editing part, but that will be released next year, looking at the first quarter. Also, I'm going to be doing a operations school, so really looking at tapping into where business owners who like, hey, I have a great team member, but I would love him or her to become my operations manager, and I'm ready to invest in that person. They can actually enroll that person into my school. And get trained to be an operations manager, to come back into their businesses and help them to elevate, so they can focus on the growth, and that person can come in and run their operation like if he or she is the CEO on behalf of that CEO.
I love that. So they'll be able to actually take a class on that. That is an excellent offer. Excellent offer. Can you please tell us where we can find you on the web and on social media?
Yes, you can definitely find me on LinkedIn is my go-to place. So you can just go to LinkedIn, type in LinkedIn/Chevy Mac. And honestly, that is my number one. I am on Facebook, but LinkedIn is easy to find me, connect with me, say hello, send me a message. And yes, or visit my website at macleadershipacademy.com.
Can you say that website one more time?
Yes, MAC Leadership Academy.com.
Okay, Chevy. Well, hey, I want to thank you so much for being here today and giving us some information on your business. I hope that the ladies listening and watching will connect with your business, and I hope that you're able to help them take their businesses to the next level. Thanks so much for being here today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Definitely appreciate it. And by all means, anyone reach out if you have a question. I'm happy to answer.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, ladies, thank you so much for listening to Women Own Listed, the podcast. Have a great day and see you next time.